Well, I knew this was coming, so um, like being an Indian, like we would definitely try to deride all these arguments. Try to ridicule all these arguments, but still, okay. Let's have some room for discussion. So let's try to talk about it like very briefly. So let's take each point one by one. After the 16th over, there was a delay. And what was that delay for? Rishabh Pant, you know, was struggling, and a physiotherapist was called, for some treatment. And as soon as the match starts, the first ball itself, Miller is out. Ravi Shastri was doing the commentary, and he was saying that what India needs at the moment is to break the momentum. And as soon as Rishabh Pant takes the catch, he starts running while celebrating. It was somewhat similar to what Gulbadin did. I mean, that was clearly acting. That was actually. I really wonder why no action has been taken against Jonathan Trott and Gulbadin. And for that reason, for that matter, I think action should be taken against Rashid Khan as well, although he was not wrong. But being the captain, when your team does something like this, you should pay the price. Although he was not at all wrong, Rashid Khan did not have any such intention. But yeah, Jonathan Trott and Gulbadin, these two should be penalized. I have no clue why no action has been taken against them yet. Forget about whatever the result was. I mean, let's not. But these. I mean, what if what if Afghanistan won that by DLS, by the Duckworth-Lewis method? So some action should have been taken against. But yeah, let's come back to this match. So Rishabh Pant was jumping and running with joy after taking the catch, and just a minute ago he was taking treatment by the physiotherapist. Now, see, there's no conclusive evidence that, like, say suppose this goes to a court of law. Now there's no conclusive evidence that it was acting. Whatever Rishabh Pant did was acting. There's no conclusive evidence. What Gulbadin did, even a 5-year-old will be able to identify that it was foul play. It was intentional acting. But there's no conclusive evidence. Try to understand. And okay, let's let's assume that this was acting. अज्यूम करते हैं कि ऋषभ पंत नाटक कर रहे थे, और अज्यूम करते हैं कि ये स्ट्रैटेजी थी. और जैसे रवि शास्त्री भी जो कि कमेंट्री बॉक्स में बैठ के एक सजेशन पास ऑन करना चाह रहे थे, तो अगर मान लीजिए ये एक्टिंग भी थी, तो इसमें गलत क्या है? आप मुझे ये बताइए. थोड़े से माइंड गेम्स खेलने में गलत क्या है? ये ऑलमोस्ट हर फुटबॉल मैच में फुटबॉल के प्लेयर्स माइंड गेम्स कुछ ना कुछ खेलते हैं, ऑलमोस्ट हर मैच में, ताकि जो ओपोनेंट है उसे कोई कार्ड मिल जाए या फिर फाउल मिल जाए. हर फुटबॉल मैच में लगभग हर खिलाड़ी ये करता है, और बड़े से बड़े लेजेंड ने ये किया है. तो अगर ये एक स्ट्रैटेजी भी थी, देखिए, सिर्फ गेंद और बल्ले से आप कमाल दिखा के अगर जीतने लगे तो ये इतना बहुत ही साधारण हो जाएगा. ये एक मेंटल गेम भी होता है, आप समझिए बात को. ये एक मेंटल गेम भी होता है. तो ये मेंटल स्ट्रैटेजी थी इंडिया की. अगर सच में ही ऋषभ पंत एक्टिंग कर रहे थे और ये सच में ही मोमेंटम ब्रेक करने के लिए अगर ये किया है, तो इसमें मेरे समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि गलत क्या है सब. और उससे पहले ये कहना ज़रूरी है कि कोई कंक्लूसिव एविडेंस नहीं है इस चीज़ का. तो ये आप ये भी कह सकते हैं कि ये बातें उठाई जा रही हैं, और देखिए, जो जीता वही सिकंदर. अब ये बातें उठा के कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है, बट फिर भी अगर कुछ लोग अपने कलेजे को ठंडक पहुंचाने के लिए इस तरह की बातें कर रहे हैं, if there are people who wanted India to lose and they are making such statements, then enjoy your life. I mean, what else can be said? Or the others will say keep crying. well, I don't like using such language, of a troll. I mean, trolling is something I truly deride. I mean, I don't like to use such phrases, but I mean, still, it might be, like same things happen in 2011 as well. That the Sri Lankan team got changed, three new players came into the team, and the final match was fixed, and all that speculations. I was about to say some other word. Anyway, so you know, even if it was a strategy, there's nothing wrong in it. It's a mental game, and in the first place, there's no such conclusive evidence that uh, it was some kind of a strategy to derail the South African team of the momentum that they were carrying at that point in time. So this was about the and after the 16th over, the people who were watching match on Hotstar, I mean, they are saying that the cameraman was showing only Rohit and Virat. What was actually happening with Rishabh Pant was not being shown on television because intentionally something was being tried to be hidden. But again, I mean, let's just put an end to it because Jo Jeeta Bhai Sikandar. Then a very popular controversy that is, that is coming forward about that catch by Surya Kumar Yadav. সে যে ক্যাচটা ছিল যেটা সূর্যকুমার যাদব নিয়েছিলেন সেটার উপরে একটা কন্ট্রোভার্সি চলে এসছে और वहाँ पर कहा जा रहा है कि जो बाउंड्री रोप है उसको थोड़ा सा पीछे कर दिया गया और बहुत सारे ऐसे पिक्चर्स हैं विजुअल्स हैं यहाँ पे दिखा रहे हैं कि जो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कि इनिशियली शायद बाउंड्री रोप थोड़ी सी आगे थी 1 इंच और उसे 1 इंच पीछे कर दिया गया था शायद साउथ अफ्रीकन इनिंग्स के स्टार्ट होने से पहले और हो सकता है वो शुरू से ही ऐसी थी बट जो लोग इल्ज़ाम लगाना चाह रहे हैं वो ऐसा कह रहे हैं तो यहाँ पर भी मैं आपको बता दूँ कि यहाँ पे भी एक कॉन्क्रीट प्रूफ नहीं है कि ये साउथ अफ्रीका की इनिंग्स के स्टार्ट होने से पहले किया गया क्योंकि वो विजुअल जो शेयर किया जा रहा है सर्कुलेट किया जा रहा है उसे देख के आपको भी लगेगा कि हाँ अरे ये तो बाउंड्री रोप तो पहले कहीं और थी बट आप ध्यान इस बात पे दीजिए कि वो बाउंड्री रोप जो है वो क्या शुरू से ही वहाँ पे प्लेस थी या साउथ अफ्रीका की इनिंग्स के वक्त उसे पीछे किया गया इस बात का कोई सबूत नहीं है कि उसको साउथ अफ्रीका की इनिंग्स के पहले ही पीछे किया गया तो ये आर्गूमेंट भी नल एंड वॉइड हो जाता है फिर जो मेन पॉइंट यहाँ पे है वो ये है कि जो कैच पकड़ा सूर्य कुमार यादव ने वो जो कैच थो सूर्य कुमार यादव को वो कैच ठीक से हो या को नहीं थो यह आर्ग्यूमेंट भी सामने आ रही है अभी बहुत से ये लोग कह रहे हैं कि जो थर्ड एम्पायर ने एनालिसिस किया उन्होंने बैक कैमरा से चेक नहीं किया और ईगल आई व्यू चेक नहीं किया तो लोग यह बोल रहे हैं कि जो थर्ड एम्पायर ईगल आई व्यू चेक को नहीं किया और बैक कैमरा से चेक को नहीं किया तो यहाँ पे भी आप देखिए जो एंगल्स देखे थर्ड एम्पायर रिचर्ड कैटलबरो ने और आपने भी टीवी पे देखा होगा आप सच बताइए कि आपको ऐसा लगा कि उनका रोप टच हो रहा था जितने एंगल्स थर्ड एम्पायर ने देखे वहाँ पे तो बिल्कुल ऐसा लगा नहीं हाँ एक ईगल आई व्यू में चलिए ये भी मैं क्लियर कर देता हूँ मतलब मैं डिस्कशन को आधा नहीं छोड़ना चाहूँगा कि फिर आप बोलोगे कि आपने पूरी बात नहीं की एक ईगल आई व्यू का फुटेज सामने आ रहा है जिसमें कि रोप में थोड़ी सी हरकत नज़र आ रही है द रोप अपीयर्स टू हैव स्लाइटली मूव्ड there's something happening with the rope but again there's no conclusive evidence that it was Surya Kumar Yadav's feet that touched the rope that his shoe touched the rope there's no evidence even in that visual even in that footage it might have got flicked due to the grass or the air you never know you are, I mean, that visual, that footage is being shared. Yeah, there is some movement on the road, but did it happen because of Surya Kumar Yadav's feet touching that rope, or his shoe touching that rope? There's no conclusive evidence again. Let's move on let's move on to the other allegation. How come they lose after needing 27 from 28 balls with 6 wickets in hand? Miller and Klassen on the crease. How come they lose? Initially, let me tell you, if I put my cricketing knowledge forward, I just don't understand how can you play a T20 game with 6 batsmen. There are teams who have batting till the end. Even the number 11 can bat. And in teams where the number 11 can't bat, at least till number 8 they have batsmen. In the South African team, they have only 6 batsmen. I mean, how can you participate in a tournament like the T20 World Cup with 6 batsmen? Marco Jansen can't bat. I mean, don't count that fluke 6 against Afghanistan, against West Indies. Kagiso Rabada is purely a bowler. Tabrez Samsi, no expectations as far as batting is concerned. Then Nokia, even he can't bat. So with 6 batsmen, you are participating in the T20 match, and that too in the T20 World Cup final. So if you want to blame, please blame the South African management and the administration who selected such a team. They might have their own reasons, but 6 batsmen, I mean, when all the other teams have at least 8 batsmen, 8 or 9 batsmen. So it might appear that they were 4 wickets down, but for me, if you ask me, if I put my cricketing logic here, they were actually 8 down. They were actually 8 down. The remaining 2 wickets were Miller and Klassen. And you can also call it that they were actually 9 down, because the way Miller was playing, I didn't have any expectation from him. The only thing India needed was to get the wicket of Klassen. It's okay they needed 30 of 30, 27 from 28, but India was just 1 wicket away. So it's not something miraculous. I truly don't think this is miraculous. What was miraculous was that inning by Glenn Maxwell against Afghanistan in the 2023 Cricket World Cup. That was a miracle. A miracle, actually. Yes, I mean, the victory that India got yesterday, I don't think it was a miracle, because India was actually just 1 wicket away. They were actually just Klassen's wicket away. All they needed was to dismiss Klassen. Even if I'm telling you, even if South Africa needed 15 of last 5, had India got the wicket of Klassen, India would have still been in the game. This batting lineup was so weak. So I don't think this was some miracle, because they needed 27 and they needed just 1 wicket of Klassen, which India fortunately got. Now, speaking of how come the run rate got slowed down so terribly, like after scoring I think 36 of 8, because they needed 66 from 38 and then 30 of 30. So after scoring 36 of 8, how come they scored only 4, 5, 6 runs from the remaining overs? 4, 5, 6 runs per over, in the remaining overs. I've already given the explanation. The batting lineup was really futile. It was really fragile. And India was just Klassen's wicket away. Even if South Africa needed 15 or 20 from 5, and if India would have got Klassen's wicket at that point in time, even then I would have believed that India will win. Like, I always believed, because the numbers were favoring India, and there were many numerological and astrological factors that were favoring India. But if I go only with the cricketing logic, I would have still believed that India was just Klassen's wicket away. So I don't think it was some miracle. And now there are also speculations where people are saying that after the 16th over, like the delay that was there after the 16th over, that was where some fixing happened, and that was where instructions were passed on to Miller and Klaasen that they have to play slow, that they have to, you know, gift this match to India. And I actually don't want to name that channel. Yes, there is one channel that is actually run by a bookie. There is one YouTuber who's actually a bookie who was saying yesterday that it might happen that India will be completely dead, because the win predictor was saying 3% for India when Miller and Klaasen were batting. So he did predict before the match itself that there will come a situation when India will be completely dead and out, and from there India will rise just the way Undertaker does. And yeah, I was actually surprised because, like, for many of the cricket lovers, that's actually what happened. But I don't think it was a miracle. India just needed the wicket of Klaasen to get back into the game, and that is what exactly happened. So, this was my take on the allegations of fixing, be it Rishabh Pant's drama, I mean, alleged drama, or, Suryakumar Yadav's catch, moving the boundary rope an inch behind before the South African innings. That's what the allegation is. There's no concrete proof, to prove that allegation, or giving instructions to Miller and Klaasen to play slow, or strategy to break the momentum. Well, there's no concrete proof, no conclusive evidence, and that's my take. And if there are any other allegations that you guys might know of, feel free to share them in the comment section में बताइए अगर और कुछ भी आप लोगों के दिमाग में है, क्योंकि मुझे बहुत सारे लोग मैसेज करते हैं व्हाट्सएप पे, और बहुत सारे लोग मेरे साथ डिस्कस करना चाहते हैं, और लोग कहते भी हैं कि मतलब वो इन बातों में डिस्कशन जब करना चाहते तो वो सिर्फ मुझसे ही डिस्कस कर पाते। खैर, वो बातें अलग हैं। तो बहुत सारे लोगों ने, और देखिए बहुत से ऐसे लोग हैं जिनके पास अपने अपने रीज़न्स हैं अपनी फेवरेट टीम बनाने के लिए। बहुत सारे इंडियंस भी हैं जिनकी फेवरेट टीम तो दूसरी टीम होती है, देखिए, और उनके रीज़न्स हैं अपने। मैं किसी का नाम नहीं लूँगा यहाँ पर, बट सबके अपने अपने रीज़न्स हैं, और मैं जिससे ही बात करता हूँ मैं किसी को भी रिडिक्यूल नहीं करता उनके थॉट्स और उनकी ओपिनियंस के लिए। और मैं एक फ्रेंडली रैपो कंटिन्यू करने की कोशिश में रहता हूँ हमेशा, ताकि मैं रूड ना लगूँ और सामने वाला हर्ट ना हो, और बीइंग अ गुड लिसनर इज़ रियली इम्पॉर्टेंट। तो देखिए, लोगों की फेवरेट टीम्स होती हैं। हो सकता है किसी ऑस्ट्रेलियन की फेवरेट टीम ऑस्ट्रेलिया ना हो, बल्कि जब एशेज चल रहा होता है तो बहुत सारे मैंने कुछ ऑस्ट्रेलियंस भी हैं जो कमेंट करते हैं और मैसेज करते हैं, and what appears from their messages and comments is that they actually want England to win. Like if I read the messages or comments of some Aussies, they actually want England to win. There are some Englishmen who want Australia to win. So people have their choices, and this is just sports. For example, in IPL you need not cheer for your own city. I mean, there are thousands and maybe millions who don't cheer for their own city. They have their favorite team. The RCB fans are not only from Bangalore. Like, I think that's sufficient to explain what I'm trying to say. The KKR fans are not only from Kolkata. So, I always try to be a good listener whenever I come across some such, statements from people. So, if you have anything in mind, feel free to share it. Okay, and as I said, let's keep this platform interactive, and follow me on WhatsApp, wherein we can have interesting discussions, and I can share interesting information and updates. So that's it for the time being. Take care, celebrate India's victory, and thank you so much for your love and support. जय हिंद, वंदे मातरम, भारत माता की जय, हिंदुस्तान जिंदाबाद।